Welcome to the Bella Vista Gardening Program. I'm Geri Hoerner, and with me today is Kitty Casanova, who is the fellow Master Gardener, and she also serves as secretary of the Master Gardener Program. And Kitty works at the Village Wastewater Company and is very involved with the Nature's Calling program. And we'll be talking about that a little later, and along with the Northwest Arkansas Garden Co-Op. And today we're going to be talking about upcoming garden events, and which aren't too many in August, but and also things you need to know to do in your garden in August. So the upcoming events, we really don't have very many this month because of the heat and so forth, but the Benton County the Benton County Fair is being held in August this year instead of September. And the dates, they'll begin August 18th and run through the 22nd. And on Thursday, August 19th, from 9 to 2 is Senior Day, and seniors can enter the fair at no charge. So you can get all kinds of information on their website. It's bentoncountyfair.org, and they have all their schedules and everything on their website. And this is the Master Gardener opportunity.
Yes, the Benton County Master Gardeners have a booth at the fair every year. And this year it's actually outdoors near the horticulture building under a big tent, just in case we get some rain.
In case.
Just in case. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. This year the theme of the Master Gardener booth is herb gardening. And then also at the booth they have information, if anybody's interested in becoming a Master Gardener, they have the information and registration forms there. And you can visit, there's Master Gardeners manning the booth the whole time of the fair, and you can visit with them a little bit about exactly what Master Gardeners do.
Right. And the fair's always fun. I'm not sure if it's going to be too much fun in August.
I don't know.
It's going to be really hot, I'm afraid. It's been terribly hot so far in August.
Yeah.
And again this month on our program we're going to be showing you a Meet the Masters segment, and this is something the Master Gardeners prepare for their meetings. And we have chosen Bonnie Bloom's garden this month, and she is a Master Gardener, and she lives in the Highlands Estates area of Bella Vista. And her and her husband have a wonderful, unique garden. She's being introduced by fellow Master Gardener Alice Cunningham on this DVD. And so we're going to be visiting Bonnie and Ken's unique garden.
Welcome to Meet the Masters. It's a beautiful day, and we're at the home of Bonnie and Ken Bloom and their dog Mandy in the outer reaches of Bella Vista in the Highlands. With a name like Bloom, how could we not ask Bonnie to let us visit her garden? I see Bonnie and Ken now over there by the pond. Let's go say hello.
Hi, Alice.
Hi.
Welcome to our garden.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
That's our dog, Mandy.
Hi, Mandy.
You've got your dog with you, too.
Yeah.
Well,
I understand you have some interesting things to show us.
well, we do, Alice. This little pond area is new this year. We had a large tree fall down in a storm, and by the time Ken dug out all of the root ball, there was most of the hole, so he added the pond. But before he put the pond in, he put in a rain barrel system, and our rain barrel is 1,550 gallons. When Ken put that in, that's enough water to fill this pond, water all of this garden, plus he has a system where it waters his vegetable garden, basically takes care of all of this area. And we thought the Master Gardeners would be interested in that rain barrel. Honey, can you please explain to the Master Gardeners about your rain barrel, how you decided to put it in, and just tell them about it?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Well, it all started when I noticed that we were getting a lot of water coming off the driveways and the roofs of the house, and it was being channeled into a drain pipe that collected in the middle of the front yard and then channeled it into the woods out here and just ran off into the gullies. And I said, gee, it would really be nice if I could capture that water and keep it for the gardens. So I thought about digging a pond, and then I thought about a cistern, and then hit upon the idea of a rain barrel, which I ordered from the internet, and it was delivered in a big semi-truck They rolled it off the back end, and then I rolled it down here and set it up on a pad to stabilize it, and hooked up a sump pump which collects the water off the driveway and the roofs in a catch basin, and then pumps the water into the barrel. And when the barrel's full, I have a system of hoses set up and pipes that run down to the lower area of the gardens, in which I use to replenish the pond. And soaker hose is set up in the vegetable gardens. I use that to water the vegetable gardens. And everything is watered by gravity feed. And then Bonnie is able to use the water through a garden hose and wand to water all her pots and flowers and so forth down there.
We've lived on this property for about 6 years and started doing our garden, especially this one back here, about 4 years ago. My gardening style is mainly woodland gardens. I feel like I live in the country, and I like the setting of having some shade so that I can have shade plants as well as sunny plants on the edges. It just seems to fit our acreage. We have a 4.5 acre lot, and it was difficult at first trying to decide how we would have a transition from grass to the woods. I like blue flowers and the blue pansies. If I can find a certain blue pansy in the fall that has a wonderful fragrance and carry that through the winter, then in the spring, when they bloom along with the blue phlox, I just have heavenly scent all over in the front yard, and I do love that flower smell. My garden specialty is probably organic gardening. Ken and I love to attract the birds and the bees, and the colors of the flowers tend to attract such a wonderful variety of birds. We have hummingbirds that land on the flowers, and I don't like to use any chemicals on them. I don't want to endanger them. So we add a lot of mushroom compost. We add Bentonville compost. We do composting in our house, and so we tend to garden that way. If I have Japanese beetles, I pick them off. I don't spray for them. So we just don't want to harm any of the bees or the butterflies or birds. Ken and I, in our travels, have visited many public gardens, and we tend to look for that when we travel around the country. But I think one of my very favorite gardens happens to be Garvin Gardens, which is so close to us. I think we are just so fortunate in this state to have such a wonderful garden that's open all 4 seasons. It's always different. Every time we go to it, it's a different view, and we do love that garden a lot. And I love Tanyard Creek, which is right in Bella Vista. That's a wonderful garden. I guess if I had to confess a fault as a gardener, it's that I'm not a mechanical person. I don't even know how to mow a lawn. I don't know how to mow grass. And every time I go to work hotline, I pray that nobody will ask me a question about grass. And always there's a question about growing shade grasses or hot weather grasses. And we do have Bermuda grass. I can answer a few questions about when to put fertilizer down and other aspects of grass, but I could never tell someone how to mow. I don't know how to run a lawnmower. My husband always says if there's a hard way to do something, that's the way I will do it. I like hand tools, and I like getting down on my knees, and I like weeding the lawn. I just don't know how to mow it.
Wasn't that a great visit to the garden? Everything looks so lush compared to what mine looks like right now. I wish I had that water system that they have. It's wonderful.
Especially this year.
Well, I do have a drip irrigation system, and I think you need to remember when you have those systems to check your drip emitters once in a while. Apparently some of mine aren't working properly, and I'm losing some plants because of it. So I've been very neglectful about checking my drip irrigation emitters, so be sure and check those. They don't always work 100% all the time. So, But I do want to talk to you today about a little bit about the Northwest Arkansas Garden Co-op
Okay.
and Nature's Calling at
Okay.
Wastewater.
Sure.
If you could kind of tell us how that started and
Well, okay. As Geri said, I work at the Village Wastewater Company, which is the sewer treatment plant here in town. And one of the byproducts of treating wastewater is what we like to call biosolids. And eventually, big plants have to get rid of that stuff. And we wanted to do it in an environmentally friendly kind of way. So we came up with this program, and making this real short here, what we do is we take the biosolids and mix them with dirt and wood chips, and we grow plants and we sell the plants down at the treatment plant. And we do this in cooperation with the Bella Vista Garden Club and the Ozark Hills Daylily Club and the Benton County Master Gardeners. We all work together, which is where the co-op comes from. And all the funds that we raise, we give away, and we focus on two groups. We like to give a lot of the money away locally to Bella Vista charities, and then we also do scholarships at the university and at the community college. And so far, we started doing this in 2004, and so far we've given away almost $34,000, which when you think about it, we're selling these plants for anywhere between $1 and $5. So it's a lot of plants.
it's a lot of plants
that we've
It's
sold.
a lot of plants.
And it's just a neat opportunity for folks to work. We have lots of gardens down there at the plant. We have propagation beds for the Daylily Club.
Right, and you know, the Daylily Club, I think it's probably the only Daylily Club in the country that has such a large propagation bed.
Right.
That's owned by the club, and the Daylily Club, I'm a member of that too. We grow the plants there, and you know, provided us with a wonderful garden. And then we sell those plants, and all those sales go to scholarships.
Right.
All that money goes
Right.
into scholarships. And I did want to mention something about the Daylilies. The Daylily Club is very active there, and what you may see on your daylilies is this. This is called a proliferation. This will come up on the scape where the bloom had been up at the top here. So the bloom would come up here, and below the blooms you may find these little plants coming out of your stem. And these are going to be exactly like the plant that bloomed on that spathe. So these can be rooted and grown as new plants. So what you would do is you take these plants and cut it down about an inch or two below the plant itself, put it in some soil, and make sure that the lower parts of these plants are in the soil and keep it moist. And then you'll end up with two more plants here. The only way you can get an actual duplicate of that daylily is to use the proliferations, if you ever get them. They don't occur that often. Or if you divide the plant. If you use the seeds from the seed pods, they won't be true to that flower. They're like children. You know, you have two parents, and then the children don't look exactly like the parents. So, but the proliferations will always be exactly like the bloom that it bloomed on that space. So that's a proliferation. I just wanted to bring those in and show people that.
Well, I learned something.
Oh, you didn't know
I
about
didn't know about
proliferations?
those, no.
Well, we do have a few at the wastewater plant. Every once in a while, we'll have one that'll have a proliferation, and some do it and some don't, and you never know. So it's just a little bonus plant to get once in a while. But the Daylily Club is always looking for new members. If you're interested in daylilies, you can call Larry Iwin, and he's at 855-9596. And you can get information about the Daylily Club. So, and we meet at the wastewater plant. And have our meetings there, and then we work the gardens. We have a display garden in the front, and you've got some wonderful display gardens at the entrance there. It's almost going to be a botanical garden one of these days.
And you know, anybody just that's interested in seeing what we're doing down there, we love to give tours, or if you just want to come and look around, you know, we're a little hard to find, the treatment plant is, but we love visitors.
Yeah, maybe we ought to talk about how to find it.
Yeah, it's the best way I know. It's on Highway 71. It's about half a mile south of the Missouri state line, and you need to be going south on the highway because we're on the west side. and right before you get to the country club golf course, there's a sign that says turf care and treatment plant.
Well, I always look for that great big Bella Vista sign, you know, the big Bella Vista with the plants around it.
Right.
And it's like maybe like the second driveway or something after that
Past
great
that.
big sign.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
it's just a little gravel road off to the right off the highway, and you just take it to the end, and there's a little brown office building, and that's where I am.
And you have two greenhouses
Yes,
that you propagate
we do. We
plants
propagate plants all winter long, and sometimes at our plant sales, which are in the early spring, we have to be in there to be out of the rain.
with. Right. And we will have our plant sale there October 2nd. The Bella Vista Garden Club will have their plant sale there October 2nd. We're selling bulbs and iris and plants there at the, and you'll get more information about that at the next program and with flyers. But the garden club has just been so appreciative of all the work that we do there. We can do all our potting there and attend our plants there. It's just a wonderful facility. But the amount of money that's given away from this waste product, it's just a wonderful,
Well,
wonderful
It's pretty
community.
amazing.
It is.
The whole program's gotten way bigger than we ever thought, and it's just so many of us that work at the treatment plant are gardeners and love to garden, and that's how I became a master gardener. Was my boss sent me to the class, so at least I'd know something on paper about plants. But we have learned a lot, and it's just a great thing. And we're not too sure if we're not the only treatment plant in the country that does this.
Well, didn't you win some type of award? Was it a state or national award for your treatment plant
We won
too?
2 awards from the state of Arkansas. Yeah, for the Nature's Calling program.
Right, that's wonderful. That really is. And then, are there future plans for any additional things? Or I know they were talking about just improving the plantings around the plant. And then if you have to go out and put these plants in different locations, like if you ever get to the sewers up in the west side,
Oh,
is there anything
you
planned
mean
for
like
that?
if we build another treatment plant?
But I don't think you'd ever do this Nature's Calling in 2 locations.
I don't think we could, not without hiring a whole bunch of
Yeah.
people just to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a
but
lot
it's
of work.
just, it's wonderful to see all those plants thriving like that.
It is, and
Yeah,
it's
it
real
is.
satisfying to start something from seed or from a little cutting this big, and 3 years later, have a nice sized tree or whatever. It's
Right.
a nice thing.
And also, I guess I should have mentioned too, I had duty at the wastewater plant with the Daylily Club, and it's really important when you're watering, this drought we're going to have, I don't know how long it's going to last, but we always have droughts. And there could be times where you think the plants are dry because they're drooping, and you really, really need to get your moisture meter. Check the soil with your moisture meter. These are getting a little harder to find, but they're just a little probe you stick in the ground. It tells you whether your soil is wet or dry. And they're harder to find. They used to have them at Walmart, and some of the box stores may have them, I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but they're worth their weight in gold. And if you put this in your pots or your plants and it shows that it's moist or dry, it needs water. But there's many times that with this drought you've watered and the soil and the roots are wet, but the plant's drooping and you think it needs more water, so you add more water, and then all of a sudden your plants die because the roots have rotted away or boiled with that hot water that's under the soil. So be sure and check your plants before you water to make sure they need water and how much they need. So this is an invaluable tool with the drought the way it's going around here. And I guess we need to talk about also what we need to do in August.
Correct.
And August is the time, I guess, you retreat from your garden and just water. And we keep talking about water, but that's all the plants really need in August is water and maybe a little deadheading. So your annuals, there's some of the annuals that have just not made it too well through this drought, and they just probably
Exactly.
have to get rid of them. They're just past their prime. I don't know if there's any more annuals available to replace those ones that haven't done well.
Well, they don't want to do it right now anyway.
No, you don't
Not
want
in
to
this
plant
heat.
anything
Yeah.
now in this heat, but And your herbs, you need to deadhead your herbs and propagate, gather your herbs. You can do your oils and your vinegars with your herbs, or you can freeze them or dry them. I love the flavored oils and vinegars with my herbs. And pesto, I love pesto, so I make a lot of pesto with my basil. And the perennials, your mums will be blooming. Are your mums blooming
My mums
yet?
are blooming.
They're starting to bloom.
Yes.
So if you have stopped deadheading like mid-July, they should be starting to bud and bloom now. So the mums will be coming out soon. Just be sure to check the water. Some of the other perennials, we've just been deadheading
Yeah.
if they've bloomed already, and we've just
Right.
kind of deadheaded the seed pods, and I kind of throw those off into a compost pile, so the birds can still get the seeds, but they're not on the plant and looking bad. So
I actually have just a perennial garden that's kind of an organized mess, and I just let a lot of them drop
Yeah.
back into the garden so
Right.
they come back next year.
yeah, and the birds, gather them and
right.
so forth. So, and lawns, I can't say too much about lawns. In the heat of the summer, you don't want to mow it low, and you want to watch your water. And you can't fertilize right now,
Right.
Anything, because it's just too hot. And your roses, the Japanese beetles are still here, and I've just been deadheading and gathering those beetles and crunching them and with my rubber gloves.
Right.
Because I hate to spray. You spray the beetle and you're affecting the butterflies and you're affecting the bees, and I just don't like to do that. So, and I don't think you have too much trouble out there at the wastewater plant with Japanese
We
beetles.
don't. I do at home,
Yeah,
but we don't have them
or
out
the
there.
deer either. You don't have
Correct.
too much trouble with the deer out
No.
there. So the deer will be after your roses too, because they're hungry. And your trees and shrubs, be sure to check your evergreens for bagworms. I noticed my neighbor's got bagworms on an evergreen and killed it, so I'm kind of watching, make sure I don't get any of my neighbor's
Right,
bagworms. So
right.
those are those little, look like little cocoons that are hanging on the tree, little brown cocoons, and those will eventually kill your evergreens. So watch for those, and pick them off. The only way you can really prevent them is to spray in the spring.
Right.
And just before the larvae starts making that little cocoon. So, and vegetables. I don't grow too many vegetables, but it's time to harvest your tomatoes if you're lucky enough to have
Here,
some
any,
tomatoes
right.
that the critters haven't gotten. So be sure to pick them at their peak. And if you do grow vegetables, I guess you know when to plant your fall plants.
I'm not a vegetable
I'm not a vegetable
gardener,
gardener, and like I said, that's where the hotline comes in. That the Master Gardener hotline is available Monday, Wednesday, and Friday
Correct.
from 9 to 12 and 1 to 4, and their number is 271-1060. And they can answer any of your questions about vegetables. They have handouts they can send you. They have brochures about every garden subject. And their website is bentoncountygardening.org. There's just a ton of information out there on their website. It's a
great
wonderful
website.
website.
Yeah, and easy to use.
Right. And I guess that's about all for August. Just water, 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 and just check your water levels. And for more information on the Bella Vista Garden Club, you can go to our website. That's bellavistagardenclub.com. It's very easy to remember. And we have all of our activities and our photos from our flower show are on there. And I think it's updated quite often, so we keep it up to date as to what the activity is going on. And again, we're going to have another gardening seminar in September 25th, Saturday, September 25th. It's a free gardening seminar. We'll be talking about planting bulbs, fall planting, and some other
idea.
subjects. I don't have all the subjects yet. We're going to be meeting and planning that shortly, but it's going to be at the Village Insurance Community Room from 9 to 12. And mark your calendars. I'll be talking about that more next month. But it's a great opportunity. We had one in the spring, and we had such good turnout and good response. Everyone just loved that gardening seminar. And like I said, the Garden Club and Wastewater have been selling plants like crazy.
Yes, we have.
over the years. We sold thousands of plants, and we don't tell them how to take care of them or how to plant them. And this is a great opportunity for them to learn about gardening. So I'll have, like I said, I'll have more information on next month's program, and watch for flyers around the village and around the city. In the weekly Vista, we kind of put articles in there. And our garden club will be starting our new year with our meeting on September 22nd. And that's at the Lutheran Church at 279 and Cooper Road. So that's when our year starts. And we've been a little quiet this year, or this summer. We haven't really done too much. We've been working a little out at the wastewater plant, getting our plants ready for the sale. But you really can't do very much out there at this point.
Oh, we
because
don't.
everything kind of just shuts down for the summer.
Right, and
So-
actually this past 3 or 4 weeks, we haven't even been weeding because it's just
Too hot.
It's just too hot to be out.
That's the other thing. When you're out there working, you have to hydrate. You have to be sure that you're getting enough water, because it's so hot to work out there. And try to go out early morning or late.
right.
But you open at 8,
7:30.
7:30, and close at 4:30, 4?
Yeah,
Okay.
7:30 to 4, and then 7:30 to 2 on weekends.
Oh, okay. So you're there on Saturday also?
Correct.
Now, the plants that we have there from the Garden Club and from the Daylily Club are just in like a sand bed area. And those plants can be purchased all through the year, right?
Right. You don't have to wait until we're having, a sale to come down and look at the plants or buy plants. There's always stuff for sale down there. Right now, particularly, is not a good time, but in a month, there's lots of hostas that they don't mind being planted in the fall. There's shrubs, there's flowers, there's ground cover.
Right.
there's
We've got some trees, we've got shrubs and
just
ground
all
covers
kinds of stuff. And
that
it's
are
just
available.
it's never the same stuff twice, so it's
Right.
kind of an adventure when you come down there just to see what we have. And they're priced really at least half price or less
Oh, I would think they're usually less.
of anywhere around.
It seems like when you go to the nurseries now, the prices have just increased tremendously.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's because of the soil and the supplies and so forth, and just maintaining them, watering them.
right.
The fact that you get your water from the treatment plant.
Right, we get our
and,
water for
and it's
free.
free. So that makes a
helps.
big difference.
That helps a
We
lot.
can sell plants a lot cheaper that way.
Right, right.
And so you can have some wonderful plants at a low price. And I just want to thank you, Kitty, for coming today.
Well,
I
thanks
think we
for
learned a
inviting
lot
me.
about Nature's Calling, and I think it's a very appropriate name because you're so natural down there, and it's just a great opportunity to see how things grow with that wonderful sludge that you pull out of the lake.
Right.
So it's very nutrient, a lot of nutrients, but no bad chemicals in it. And it's,
Well, the neat thing about it is Bella Vista has no major industry.
right.
So there's no industrial waste, and there's no hospital, so there's no medical waste. And at that, it sits in our little lagoon for 7 years, digesting and breaking down. So by the time it comes out of there, it's safe and clean.
And it's very, very good nutrients
Boy,
in there.
plants love it.
And they
yes.
love it. Well, it's very similar to the Milorganite.
It's real close to Milorganite.
And Milorganite is sold across the country, and that's from the wastewater in Milwaukee. And they sell theirs, and I know yours is tested against, I think I saw a comparison
Right.
of your test versus Milorganite, which is sold across the country, and your tests were so much better.
They were.
Because you don't have all that iron and all those chemicals and all that, those minerals and bad things,
Exactly.
coming into the system itself.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful product, and
good
you've done such great things with it. So again, I want to thank you for coming, and we learned a lot about that, and I'm hoping you'll join us next month. And until then, don't forget to stop and smell the roses.